All right, what up, guys, and welcome to the Flopbuster Movie Show Live. We're all here today. I got Victoria, I got Gabe, Daddy of Dragons on OnlyFans. You could get his exclusive content right now. Underwear, skid marks, all of those things that you're looking for. Use panties, everything, and we'll provide links for that as well. How's everybody doing today, guys?
Good. Tired.
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. We had a lot to talk about, so I'm excited to run down the news. Now, Gabe, I think we have a new sponsor, and it has to do with Daddy of Dragons. It's your exclusive deal with Body Armor, and it's the Daddy of Dragons drink. We don't have anything to show you guys right now, but we guarantee you limited supply. We'll maybe send some out to the fans.
What's that? It's going to be called Dragon Tears?
Dragon Tears, yeah. But Daddy of Dragons, we got some Game of Thrones stuff to talk about, House of the Dragon. So without further ado, I do want to jump into a lot of things. What's up, Cody? Cody's in the chat right now. Let's get into it. Victoria, what's the first news topic of the day?
Same as usual, I think.
Same as usual.
All right. As always, this is going to come from Box Office Mojo. So we have Thor: Love and Thunder, which dropped actually quite a bit to 46.6 million the past weekend. Minions: Rise of Gru, 26.8 million. Where the Crawdads Sing, which was a new release for last weekend, made 17.3 million. Top Gun: Maverick, as always, still holding strong, 12.3 million. And then Elvis rounding up the top 5 at 8 million even.
All right. So, man, there's not too much to break down there. It's kind of a quiet box office weekend. The Crawdads movie, that one did pretty well, I would say, for its budget. And I know that one has had some hype from fans of the novel. So 17 million is not bad for a movie like that. Mm-hmm. I do think that, man, that drop on Thor, every year,
terrible.
We keep talking about this, that Marvel is seeing these crazy drops. Blockbusters get crazy drops. 60% drops are big. This is nearly 70%, right. I would say. It is big. This is a big drop. And I know the word of mouth on this isn't strong already. Gabe, what do you think about this? What's up with the box office?
I mean, it's getting to be like the same every week. It's the box office. You still have Top Gun, your holdover. Right. But you still have a box office that you have 26 million from Minions, from the Rise of Gru. You still have 40 million from Thor. You got 12 million. So I mean, it's holding. For people a couple of years ago said, "Oh, the theaters are done, theaters are over, streaming is the king." Well, the theaters are showing that we're still holding strong, we're still coming at you, and the people are actually supporting it. In fact, from what I heard, and again, it's all rumors, Netflix is going to be sold off to because they can't hold on to a lot of their subscribers. So who's really holding on to in this market? It's the theaters, it's the box office. So I'm happy that the movies are definitely back.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. The movies are back. Netflix is struggling. Netflix lost nearly 1 million subscribers. Not as bad as they thought. They predicted around 2 million.
Right.
They lost 1 million. But I do think that this has become a bit of a Marvel issue with the big drop-offs that they're seeing. I know to them it's normal, but it is kind of eye-turning when you have something like Top Gun topping the box office every single week, or at least staying in that top 5, and then you have fucking Minions too. I mean, what's Minions' excuse? That's like the 3rd or 4th film in their franchise, and the U.S. has Minions fever at the moment. It's hanging in there pretty strong. It's also one of the only family movies out there right now, besides that Kung Fu one, which I'm guessing did like absolutely nothing. The Kung Fu was that movie? Was that in the top 5?
That was not the top 5.
Okay, the Kung Fu.
Listen, that movie was sort of like Kung Fu Panda, like light. I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to do there.
Yeah, it really did look like Kung Fu Panda, but nothing too surprising in this week's box office breakdown, man.
Never. Not for a while, I think.
Yeah, I think this weekend we're going to see something with note.
Yep.
And we'll see what Jordan Peele brings to the theaters. Either way, he always he puts butts in seats past 2 movies, so we'll see what happens. Victoria, what is the next topic of the day?
Halloween Ends. The trailer was supposed to come out, I believe, yesterday, but it came out actually on Tuesday night. I think it was following, it was starting to leak. So they said, you know what? F it. Here it comes. And I am excited.
So we found out, I had a feeling this was going to happen because the trailer was leaking all day Tuesday. When we walked out of Nope, we heard that the trailer leaked online, and then they released it officially. So everybody was talking about it. You had posted it. It had been an hour by the time we had gotten to it.
Trailer reaction up now.
There is a trailer reaction. You can see mine and Victoria's thoughts. I do not know Gabe's thoughts. He did not tell me his thoughts. He posted the trailer. He didn't say anything. So Gabe, I want to go to you first. What did you think of the Halloween Ends trailer?
I didn't think they showed enough for me. No, I'm just kidding. It's just a Halloween trailer for me.
Right.
As you guys know, maybe everybody who follows us, I'm not a huge Halloween guy. So am I going to see it first weekend? Yeah, I'm going to see it. I mean, it's a big horror franchise. I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't sway me one way or the other. It looks interesting. It does. I don't need the montage of Halloween 78. I already know how that movie is. Any Halloween, fan knows what the montage of, 78 is. Like, stop giving me that. Just give me some new stuff. I was part of the group that really liked the trailer for Halloween Kills because I loved some of the kills that it had in it. Like the firefighter when he comes out of the fire with the chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really love that trailer. Obviously, a lot of people thought that, it showed too much and they gave away the movie in it. As a passerby for this franchise, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. This one, I think they heard the fans' pleas, and they went ahead and just had a very subdued trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that when they release a trailer somewhat in September or August, that they give me a little bit more. At least for me.
No, I wasn't over the moon with this trailer. I thought it was solid. I thought there were some really cool shots in there. I like the POV stuff going on. I do think this is an answer to, most trilogies. The last movie never has a big trailer. And even the Avengers, when they were closing out their stuff, they didn't put too much in their trailers. And I think it could be that they want to hide a lot of surprises. It is an abnormally small teaser. This late in the game, we're only a few months out from seeing this. It's only 1 minute and 19 seconds. I would say half of that footage is recycled from the past movies. But I do think there are some cool things in there. The synopsis is the thing that blows my mind. There's a lot of little drops that they do. They talk about a lot of surprising little things that I didn't know about this movie. And I know me and Victoria read that. Did you check out the synopsis for this?
I did. I looked at the synopsis. I looked at it.
It's going to piss a lot of people off. And judging by what I read,
the synopsis gave away too much of the movie.
It did, yeah.
It gave away more than the trailer.
It did. It did. What did you think? I know you really liked the trailer.
I liked it. I mean, I'm a Halloween hoe, so I could not hold back. I like that it felt more like 2018 in this one. Obviously, Kills is very flashy, I think. But this one felt more return to form than the middle one, which, again, I still really like Halloween Kills. But Halloween 2018 and Halloween 78, I feel like they just have this feel. And this one feels like it's so far getting back to it, I think. I liked it.
Yeah, no,
it's good.
I dug the trailer. It was a cool vibe. I'm happy the movie's coming out. I'm happy we're finally seeing it. Am I worried about anything? No, because I haven't seen the movie. So what's there to worry about?
Because I'll be honest, even reading the synopsis for the first 2018, I was skeptical, the podcasters, that's weird. But they ended up being great. So who am I to judge this dude?
To me,
we would be those podcasters.
Rowan Campbell.
Listen, podcasters exist. The trailer was cool. I thought it did its job. I'm excited to see this thing when it pops up in theaters October 14th. I saw that they're advertising it in IMAX and Dolby, so that'll be pretty cool. It's Jamie Lee Curtis back. Hopefully they'll finally end this whole thing. I know this is Blumhouse's last movie in their deal, so at least this version of the story will end. Obviously, they're not going to stop making these movies because Trancas still has the rights, and they'll go off and they'll go do whatever it is that they want to do with it. But I think this trailer was decent. There's nothing really to talk about, surprisingly, with this. There's nothing to break down. There's a kitchen fight and some old footage from past movies and Michael Myers in a sewer. That's it. That's the whole trailer.
I will say this, and I think I heard somebody else say it somewhere on social media, is how does Michael Myers still have hands? Like his hands are always getting attacked.
I said that.
Okay.
Too.
Oh, you did?
So,
Okay. It was you.
No, it wasn't me, but I also said
don't
it.
think that was Michael.
No.
And the synopsis is pointing to at least some sort of copycat killer in this. That person had their fingers still attached. On his left hand, his fingers are gone.
Did they not learn from the Jason copycat killer? Like, can we stop doing copycat killers for these franchise movies?
We won't know, I guess, until it comes out. But honestly, this trailer gave me really nothing to go off of it. There's some really cool moments of suspense. Jamie Lee Curtis. That's really it. That's all this teaser is. All I know is it's the ending of the trilogy. It's coming out October 14th. Just like you, I really didn't get swayed one way or another.
No.
It looked cool. It looked serviceable. It looks just like the other ones. Poster was cool, but again, the poster didn't really give me anything. Like Halloween Kills, that poster really, it's simple, but you know what it is. It's got the fire and everything, so you know what's coming into play. I don't know what this new one's about.
It's very subdued.
It is very subdued. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see what happens come October 14th. But I'm sure things will get leaked online and people will be talking about this to no end and breaking it down. And there's a bunch of other.
Give me a trailer that ruins the entire movie for all the Halloween fans.
I'm sure there'll be a trailer that ruins something come September. But for now, we're stuck with this 1 minute little teaser, and I'm sure a bunch of people are pulling their hair, wondering why they didn't get more. But I'm cool with it.
It's the same people that were wondering why they didn't get less. So
yeah, you can't please it. Obviously, this trailer is fine. It's good. It's good. It's a little teaser. We know what's coming. It's fine. That's my seal of approval. You can put that on the poster. It's fine. I don't know. Surprisingly, there's not a lot to talk about with this one. I felt like my feelings looks really cool. I'm pumped. There's the music. It's all the things you expect from these movies. There's nothing else it really gave me other than that. That's it. But either way, I'm still excited and I'm pumped. And I think judging from the synopsis, it's going to piss a lot of people off. And I'm excited to see the internet get set on fire. So I think this next trailer is going to give us more to talk about.
Let it burn.
And what do we got?
Couple trailers come out today, actually, last few days. This one is for House of the Dragon, which is obviously the Game of Thrones spinoff. I have a few pictures here. Anyone wants to take a lookie? But yeah, I actually did watch this one.
You watched all the trailers.
I did watch this one.
Gabe,
I didn't watch Breaking.
Daddy,
I sent this one. Yes, I sent this one to you guys because I was excited. I've been excited for prequels, and I'm sorry it's still your thunder. You were introducing me for this, I loved Game of Thrones. I sort of read the books. I watched like the first couple of episodes of Game of Thrones. I went on and I got all the books. I was like, I'm gonna read these, and I got through half of the first book, and then I stopped reading them because the TV show was more entertaining. But with that being said,
and it also was finished before the last book anyway, so just watch the show.
I am so excited for House of Dragons. I was all in. Like HBO had said we're making like 6 spinoffs, like 6 prequels. I was all in for all 6. Apparently, like all 5 got canceled except House of the Dragons, which
correct
is the one that honestly is the most enticing one because you had the Mad King, Daenerys' father. So I was like, this is the one that I'm glad that they made, and just to see everything happen with the Mad King, from those shots you see a young Daenerys Targaryen, so I'm very excited.
Is that young Ned there too? I'm pretty sure that one of those characters was Ned. I did look it up.
One of the characters is going to be a Ned because he's part of the whole.
Right, that whole storyline. Yeah.
The whole storyline from the Game of Thrones. So like I said, I'm super excited. That's why I sent it out to you. I was like, this has to make the show notes.
Well, this is big. And me and you both were big fans of the show. I love Game of Thrones. And I think that, the last season was the last season. People have their thoughts on it. Was I slightly disappointed? Sure. I do think there's some things that I wish could have been done differently. But I'm just happy to be back in this world. I'm excited to be back in this world because I think it's going to be so damn good. And this is the one storyline in Game of Thrones that just lends itself well to a spinoff, to a prequel, because we've heard so much about what happened, and everything that leads up to Daenerys and Jon. So like we get to go back and see all of it now. And I think that this is a show that can play for another 5-6 seasons, and we could see all that play out. So this trailer gave you pretty much everything, and it gets you hyped up. The effects look great, but it's really that world. You really go, yes, this is Game of Thrones. We're back in Game of Thrones. So I'm pretty jacked off this trailer.
And I hope they have the money for the dragons, because I know Game of Thrones had that issue where they couldn't do the dragons justice. They had to be like in every other episode because they didn't have the budget for that CGI dragons. And obviously it just costs too much to buy, real dragons anyways. So.
No, it's true. No, I'm big on this trailer. It sounds like you are too. This was really cool. Matt Smith is in it. Obviously a big movie star right now because of Morbius, Gabe's favorite movie of the year.
I called him Matt Murdock earlier.
She called him Matt Murdock by accident. Like I said, this looks really cool, man. This is the one story in Game of Thrones that I could see being a prequel.
Right. It lends to itself to be the prequel.
Yeah. Cool. Well, what's next, Victoria? What's the next news topic?
More dragon.
More dragons.
Another one I did watch. Dungeons and Dragons. And I have the cast here, actually, because you didn't list it.
Chris Pine is in it. Somebody.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez. Oh my God, where the hell am I going? Sophia Lillis was a big one.
Yeah.
Beverly from It.
Gabe, what did you think of this trailer? This kind of snuck up on me. I forgot about this.
I didn't even know they were doing a Dungeons and Dragons movie, to be honest with you. You sent the trailer. I was reading the show notes, and you're like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons trailer. I'm like, what? How did you make that into a movie? I mean, I saw it. It looks fantastical.
Yeah.
I've always said I'm an enigma of a person because as much as I love Game of Thrones, right, I really dislike Lord of the Rings. And I don't know about Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I saw the trailer, and I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I could get behind it. Maybe not. Maybe I need to see like
jury's still out for
version. Yeah.
I think it has the potential to look cheap.
Correct. Like sort of. What other? There was another video game movie based on Fantastical. I forget the name of it that just came out. It came out a couple years ago.
Warcraft? So you thinking Warcraft?
Warcraft. That's what I'm thinking.
That was a movie that got buried quick. Yeah.
Right.
Warcraft.
So I feel like Dungeons and Dragons can go the Warcraft route, or it could go like Game of Thrones and just be totally badass.
Yeah. The way I was watching the trailer came off to me like high fantasy Guardians of the Galaxy, where it looked way more goofy than I thought. I don't know shit about Dungeons and Dragons. So it looked very goofy. You have that great song in there to crutch on. But the cast looked like a lot of fun. Honestly, I got really excited over this trailer. I don't know shit about this franchise, but if I'm going to go see a movie... It's not a franchise.
It's just a board game.
Oh, it's a franchise. They had a first movie. These fans are diehard. They've been wanting a real good adaptation of this shit. There's people that spend hours upon hours upon hours in this game. I've never played it. I mean,
neither. To be honest with you, I've always wanted to. Like, I've been wanting to play Dungeons and Dragons. I've never played it.
Maybe the movie will convince you to play it now.
No, I do want to play it. That's what I've said.
Well, we'll get you to play it. Finally, be able to play it. Maybe
I need to find a Dungeons and Dragons community out here.
You can find a bunch of like sweaty nerds that want to play that with you in like comic book shops and stuff. I see them advertising it like all the time.
Maybe.
I thought the trailer was cool. I like Chris Pine, another franchise for him. It looks like Michelle Rodriguez looks really badass.
She always does. I'm a huge fan of Michelle Rodriguez.
I like her too. I mean, she's part of the Fast family. Obviously, it's Letty. But yeah, this is a thumbs up for me. I really did take this trailer. For somebody that knows nothing about Dungeons and Dragons, I thought it really does convey a lot of things about the story that they want to get across well.
That owl bear looks pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
That did look cool. That's what I'm saying. Nothing looked cheap. She watched it on a 720 app on the TV. It wasn't even full HD.
I said it has the potential.
Which
like
but
you never know.
I didn't get your thoughts, Vic, on the House of Dragons. We passed you by.
It looks cool.
We have Tony with it's fine, and now we have Victoria with it looks cool.
I
need to watch Game of Thrones first and
yeah,
foremost.
you got like 8 years to catch up on with Game of Thrones, but it's worth it. Game of Thrones is one of the greatest shows.
It looked cool though. Dragons are cool.
Yeah, the dragons look great. So we have another trailer, Victoria. What is that?
Good Lord, trailers on trailers this week.
That's a lot.
Breaking with John Boyega as the tragic veteran Brian Easley. This one I did not see, but I watched the rest of them. So
this is a trailer that I saw. I heard a lot of word about this coming out of Sundance. And this is John Boyega sort of doing, he's been trying to get out of that Star Wars thing. He did Detroit, which I thought was really good and such an intense and scary film. And this looks really cool. This reminds me of Dog Day Afternoon. A lot of other heist films about somebody who needs something going into a bank and holding them hostage. But I like that subgenre anyway. And he looks great in this. This obviously is definitely their campaign for him to be in some sort of awards race. We'll see if that plays out. But the cast looks really stellar. The trailer did a damn good job, and I dig it. I like him as an actor. I think he's going to be big. Not yet, but I think he's still trying to get out of that Star Wars phase.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a shadow. For a lot of those guys that were in the new trilogy, it was a shadow for them. Yeah. What did you think, Gig?
I thought, you know what vibes I got? I got Denzel Washington and John Q. Where Jack, where he holds up the hospital hostage to get his son transplanted or whatever it was. So I got the same vibes from this movie, which is good. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna, I like the other guy better. The dude that was on The Wire. The detective. He plays a detective in this, or the cop.
Oh yeah.
I forget his name.
I have the list.
That's what's his name? Is he the one that died?
Oh, no,
The Wire?
Yes. Now I'm blanking because I'm pretty sure that was Michael. What's his name that just passed away? Hold on. I'm pulling it up because I want to make sure we get this right. Who this is? Jesus Christ! Why is it so hard to find this?
Did he pass away?
Here, look. I'm looking here.
Yeah, Michael K. Williams. Michael K. Williams. That's what you're talking about. Yes. Michael K. He just passed away, so I think this might be one of his final film roles.
Almost a year ago.
So.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, he died September of 2021.
Interesting.
Yep.
But anyways, I always liked him, and so he looks like he gives a great performance. He just has that unique voice to him, and So, anyways, I'm excited to see that movie as well.
Yeah, no, this looks really cool, and it looks like a throwback to cool little heist thrillers. Again, Dog Day Afternoon, John Q, like those kind of films.
Which we haven't seen in a while. For some reason, I feel like the pandemic sort of reset Hollywood in a sense and movies, and now we're coming out with like different things. Yeah, we're gonna have sequels and we're gonna have nostalgia pieces, but we're having different type of movies coming out almost every month, every week.
Yeah, there's something new and unique every month. I would say this year is probably the strongest year for movies in a very long time. And maybe that I just feel that way because of the pandemic, because 2019 I thought was a fantastic year before the pandemic hit. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of these movies are carryovers from 2020, 2021, whatever it is that they were holding on to. But man, we're getting something new and different every week. This comes out in late August. So I'm excited for this. And I can't wait to see what else John Boyega does, and we got to see it because it's Michael K. Williams' last performance on film.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
Cool. So I guess we'll move on to something big. This is probably something that a lot of people are really excited about.
All right. Lots of new, like I said, not just new trailers, lots of movie announcements. This one is Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan. Big cast again, Robert Downey Jr., Cillian Murphy. Also, I want to apologize when I trail off because I have a playback in my ear for some reason. So it's like I'm talking over myself and I can't hear myself. But yeah, I think also Emily Blunt's in it.
Florence Pugh.
Yes, Florence Pugh, who is going crazy this year.
She's going crazy. This
Matt
is a huge.
Damon.
This is probably the biggest cast I've seen for a Hollywood movie in a long time. I know Amsterdam is going to have a big cast. We watched the trailer for that one. Babylon is going to have a huge cast. We haven't seen a trailer for that yet.
Bullet Train has a huge cast.
Bullet Train has a huge cast.
Oh my
We're
God,
seeing a lot of ensemble cast. everybody in this movie, I believe, got paid between like $4 to $10 million.
I just thought of something else with Florence Pugh in it that we forgot to add to the news. That "Don't Worry, Darling" trailer came out. She's in that.
I'm sure we'll bring it up at the end, but yeah, Oppenheimer is. I'm sure it's going to be really cool. I mean, Nolan always delivers, and I know. If
Does he? Does he always deliver?
He does.
Does
deliver.
he really?
I don't care about your hot takes today.
I mean, Dunkirk. Really?
Dunkirk was great. What was wrong with Dunkirk?
Harry Styles was in it.
What was wrong with Dunkirk? You don't even know what was wrong with it.
I'm just saying.
What was wrong with it?
It was boring. I fell asleep.
Gabe, we got to create a new rule. If Gabe falls asleep during a movie, he cannot give his opinion on the movie because that means he did not watch the movie.
That means it was boring. It put me to sleep.
Knives Out. That means he did not give
put me to sleep.
Knives Out.
Put me to sleep. It was boring.
We'll create a category of great movies that Gabe has fallen asleep to. That means he cannot talk about those movies ever.
Because they put me to sleep. They're boring.
Bullshit.
They're boring.
A bullshit artist. God damn it. Anyway, if you go to see Nope this weekend in IMAX, you get the Oppenheimer trailer. So I did not get that. We did not see that. We saw Nope in IMAX, but it was the press screening, so it just played the movie. But the one thing that excites me about this is the cast. I think Florence Pugh is great right now. She's so hot right now, just like they said in Zoolander.
Absolutely.
Matt Damon, where's he been? Besides the little cameo he had in a certain big movie last week. But everybody, I mean, Robert Downey Jr., who
is that a spoiler?
Hasn't done anything besides play Tony Stark for the past like 10 years. And we forget that he's this Oscar-nominated big-time character.
Hey, do not overlook his role in Dr. Dolittle.
I forgot that was a movie.
Or Due Date.
Due Date was a great movie. I do like Due Date. I had a lot of fun with that one. But I think the cast is the big selling point of this. I think the cast is going to be really, really cool.
I'm more excited about the cast than the director.
Why? Well, what did he do? Like, I don't understand what he did. Did you not like the Batman movies?
You already know I didn't.
This is my first time hearing this.
Yeah, the first one was good. The second one was not a Batman movie. That's a Joker movie. And then the third one, you had
I'm ending this conversation.
The third one, you whitewashed Bane from being, a Spanish, Mexican, whatever, super villain to just, a Scottish villain. Okay, cool.
I don't know what he was. I don't know what that accent was that he was doing.
Well, Tom Hardy uses regular accent. So yeah, that's why. Like I said, the first one is great. The first Batman is great. The second one's a Joker movie, and the third one, I'm sorry, you whitewash Spain. He's on my shit list.
Victoria, what's next? God damn, we can't
even know anymore.
Christopher Nolan isn't even safe on this show anymore.
No one's safe. Kurt Russell is returning to TV for the Godzilla Show with his son Wyatt, who I don't know how I just recently only found out that that's his son. Makes a lot of sense. Adds up. I think it's going to be premiering on Apple TV, it looks like. Their specific roles have not been revealed as of yet, but the series is going to explore one family's journey to uncover its buried secrets and a legacy linking them to a secret organization known as Monarch, which has been shown in the past few movies. So it's familiar.
You got any personal vendettas against the Russells?
Or Apple?
Or Apple TV?
I Apple TV, I don't have it. I don't own any Apple. I don't own any Apple products.
See, you can't even watch this show.
No, and I won't watch it because I won't pay for Apple. I won't give Apple my money.
I thought you were a huge fan. You've been a huge fan of these movies so far.
I have been a huge fan of the movies, but I'm against Apple, so I'm not going to get Apple TV.
What is up? What do you think of the show? What do you think of this show in general?
In general, I think the show looks exciting. I mean, I'm a fan of Wyatt Russell ever since Overlord. Actually, ever since he played hockey for a minor league team that's actually here in Chicago. So that was he always has like this special attraction to Chicago. So because of that, I'm a fan of, he always talks about how much fun he had here in Chicago. So automatic fan because of that. And, who doesn't love, his dad, Kurt Russell.
I know. I don't know much about this. I'm shocked that it's going to Apple TV. I feel like this would fare better on HBO Max, considering Warner Brothers runs all these movies.
Yeah, because Godzilla vs. Kong.
Those are all Warner Brothers pictures. Weird that it's going to Apple TV, but I feel like this was a done deal that was in the works for a while. The casting is great, though. I think this is good casting. I'm excited to see both of them work on something together. So
now we need another father-son duo to work together, like Denzel Washington and David Washington.
John David, yeah, that would be great. That would be really, really cool. Jack Quaid and Dennis Quaid. I don't know where Dennis Quaid has been, but
that was insane to me.
Dennis Quaid, I just saw him in the comeback or the underdog story, the Kurt Warner.
Oh, that church movie?
The Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
That's Dennis Quaid was in there.
I forgot he was in that. Those two don't even look alike. I don't see it.
I think they do.
He looks like his mom. He looks like a Meg Ryan. He does not look like Dennis Quaid. He should take.
What if he's Randy Quaid's? Like, what if Meg was like secretly with like Randy, like on the sly?
Maybe he was with. I see a lot of similarities with Randy Quaid.
Fucking cousin Eddie.
Yeah, she was fucking cousin Eddie. It would make a ton of more sense.
Shitter's full.
Does not look like the son of Dennis Quaid.
I think it does.
But no, I think the show.
We're starting rumors here on this show.
Yeah,
New headline for next week.
New headline. Randy Quaid has an affair with Meg Ryan. But I do think the show, from everything I've heard thus far, has been pretty cool. So
right,
I'm definitely down for it. I have Apple TV. I've never used it. I got it for Ted Lasso because everybody kept saying Ted Lasso is amazing, and I just never watched it.
They stay giving out free subscriptions.
Yeah.
You never watched Ted Lasso?
Never watched it. I still want to, but there's just so much on TV that.
It's a hilarious show. I love it.
How are you watching? You don't have Apple TV.
I got my cousin's Apple TV
Okay,
login.
so you have Apple TV, so eventually
you will
see this show that we are talking about. But the cast does seem really cool, and the Russells are awesome. So
yes,
and it's good. Hey, it's a big kaiju, so there's going to be monsters every week in this show. So that's
if anybody takes anything away from this show, is that we love monsters. Give us dragons, give us Godzillas. We're a big monster, show. We're big on monsters here.
It's true. But yeah, I'm definitely down for this. I think this is going to be really cool. So that was Kurt Russell. Gabe had no hatred for that family, apparently. No problems with them, but
I think there might be a problem with this next one.
Russell Brand. That's the only Russell I have an issue with is Russell Brand.
Yeah. Russell Brand. I think everybody's got an issue with that
Me
guy.
too.
Anyway, what do we think of this?
So the Mortal Kombat sequel is moving forward with Simon McQuoid is returning as the director. This came from Deadline, I think, earlier this week, who had previously confirmed the news that it would be moving ahead with New Line and that they had hired the Moon Knight writer Jeremy Slater to pen the script for it. There will be a new writer on this project. This new report confirms that the two films will have the same director. The last one came out on HBO Max, I believe, late 2021, if I'm correct.
Correct.
And, I don't know how you guys felt about that.
April 2021, I think.
Finish her.
Did you like this movie? I don't remember us talking about it. Maybe we did.
I did it. I didn't. I don't like that they created a new character and with this Cole guy. I didn't like that storyline one bit. I mean, he's not an original character to the video games. I could see why he wanted to create a new character, but I could really care less. What they did with like Sub-Zero, Scorpion, I thought that was awesome. Sub-Zero and Raiden have always been like my favorite fighters. Whenever I play Mortal Kombat, it's either Sub-Zero or Raiden. And they did a pretty good job with them. And the way that the first movie ended, it lended itself to a sequel. Mm-hmm. I'm just surprised it took so long for them to greenlight this sequel because I was like, so it should have been maybe a minor hit on HBO Max when it came out, I guess.
It was, from what I know, I think it put in like crazy good numbers. And then it did decent at the box office too. Like they did pretty well, and then they made back even more being on HBO Max. But I thought the movie was just a bit lackluster. I think this sequel could be good because they're going to learn from a lot of mistakes they made on that first movie. But my biggest problem in that first movie is exactly who you said. It's Cole. That character was he's supposed to be our main character who we don't even know. He's made for the movie when it should have been Johnny Cage, who they do hint at the end of the movie. So I think that's the most exciting thing for me is who are they going to cast in that role? and we finally get the tournament as well, which was not in the first movie.
No.
Again, the first movie has a ton of cool things and great moments, but I also felt like we don't even get a clear fight. Like, it's just montages of fights. There's no actual fighting in the movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
like, it always cuts away.
it always did, and I don't know. They already used up Goro, who was a pretty cool villain. So he's, unless they bring him back from the dead, you know how they do. But other than that, I mean, the movie just played out like it was ready. Like, it was already planning its sequel as they made it, and they just made like the first part, filmed it, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make a sequel." Well, it took them almost about a year and a half for the sequel to get greenlit. So I'm like, at this point, I'm excited to see how the sequel is going to pan out, but I'm not.
I do think it'll do great in theaters. If they release this one in theaters and not an HBO Max exclusive, I think people will show up because people were jazzed for that first one. That trailer did crazy good on the internet. And then JoJo in the comments is saying that Mortal Kombat was HBO Max's most streamed movie of 2021. That's pretty cool. I believe it. It was. I know everybody was all about it. Everybody was watching it. I don't think it's a terrible movie. I think it has some great moments and great potential, but I think all the potential was hinted at for this movie.
The opening Scorpion Sub-Zero fight was amazing.
That was incredible.
It was phenomenal. Yes, it was incredible.
So I think this movie, I'm excited that clearly they have faith in the director. They're bringing him back. I'm sure all the cast will come back. Get somebody cool for Johnny Cage. Glenn Powell from Top Gun. That would be a great choice.
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller. Somebody. One of those kids from Top Gun. Bring him into this movie. That would be really cool. Tom Cruise. You just bring in Tom Cruise. Biggest movie star. Johnny Cage is a movie star. There we go.
He does his own stunts. Can you imagine Tom Cruise fighting in this? Like, actual fighting? Like, I'm a method actor. I'm going to punch you in the face.
I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And it's just like in the name of Scientology. No, but I think this movie could be a lot of fun. And I was hyped about the first movie. I think everybody has that soft spot for Mortal Kombat.
Listen, when this one comes out, it's obviously going to be better than the first Mortal Kombat movies from the 90s. Can we just bring back that techno riff from the 90s back into one of these movies?
Sick. Yeah. That would be, I'd be down for that. I'd be open to it.
Let's bring back that.
But I guess we can move on to the next topic. I mean, unless you are like some secret fan of Mortal Kombat.
No. All I remember is, obviously, as he just said, I don't really know Mortal Kombat, but I remember he had it on in the background, and I was like, it was ending, and I was like, where's the combat?
They never had it.
I was like, is that it?
I thought the movie, I did have some fun with it. I didn't like hate it. And I think that was the biggest like reaction towards that movie was that it was decent and there was so much potential, but it just felt like incomplete. So I think the next one will really, really deliver.
Complete it, unless we get a trilogy.
Unless we get a trilogy.
Mortal Kombat ends.
What's the next topic, Victoria?
Insidious 5, which was announced at actually last year's, might have been CinemaCon. They had a Halloween panel.
I think it was
Blumhouse. It was Blumhouse Con. Obviously directed by Patrick Wilson. That family's returning. And it's going to be released July 7th, 2023, which is not that far away. And I'm excited. I love Patrick Wilson.
I'm excited for this. I'm big time excited.
I like that family stories best. Now I kind of want to watch it.
That family was they were the Lamberts. Yeah.
Yep,
they were great in the movie. I did get that right. The first two I love. I thought the second one was completely
so good.
I thought it was hated on. Like there was so many bad reviews for that. And I was so impressed that James Wan made not one but two horror movies and put them out in the same year, a month apart, with The Conjuring and Insidious Chapter 2. I thought Insidious 3 was also underrated. That was directed by Lee Wynell, who did The Invisible Man. And that was probably the last one that I enjoyed. I did not like the fourth one.
Is 3 the one with the girl who breaks her legs?
Yes.
That was okay.
I thought that I had a lot of fun with that. Gabe, what do you think?
Right. Insidious is one of my favorite movies from the 2010s.
I agree.
To me, it's a classic. You know, whenever people start talking about 2010 horror, Insidious is, for me at least, is near the top. And to have Patrick Wilson returning to, again, horror, I mean, how many horror movies does this guy need to make until we start calling him,
For real.
a scream king, basically at this point?
He really is. He really is.
Like,
everything.
I made a comment on Killer Flicks, a while ago. I was like, oh, Patrick Wilson is like the scream king, and like people were going off on me and saying like, oh no, yada yada whatever. I'm like, no, I mean, just look at the horror franchises he's been in, what he's done, and Patrick Wilson is great in everything that he does.
He's
like, I just like it. Yeah,
he's really scary in part too.
He's scary. He's done some great comedy. He was Night Owl in Watchmen. He was really good in that. One of the greatest parts in Watchmen, Hard Candy. So I'm excited for this, and he's also directing the film too.
Yeah,
with the same kid from the
which is good. Which means like he obviously loves that franchise. If he's going to direct it, I mean, obviously they're paying him, right? So he's going to take the money to direct it.
He's going to take the money.
But in order for him to say yes to it, he has to love the property. I mean, so I'm game for it. I'm going to be there day one.
No, I'm excited, and we've been excited since this has been announced. I remember.
It was a Blumhouse Fest.
I think it was Blumfest. It was called.
Yep.
Yeah, it was during the pandemic. They did something called Blumfest.
Late 2021. It's where that first Halloween Kills teaser came out.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
They had them on there talking about it.
I'm excited for this. Maybe Rose Byrne will come back. I love her in these movies.
Back.
But Barbara Hershey, she was so cool. So
the younger brother.
I think this is going to be good, and I think they need this because I think the fourth one kind of derailed things, and I think.
That's a skeleton key, right? That's the old lady one.
The last key. Yeah. I wasn't big on that one.
I wasn't big on the last key.
Just okay.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it.
She went to visit her family or something. I don't remember.
Wasn't it like a prequel to how she started as? Okay, that's all I remember.
Yeah. But I think this is really good news. Finally, we've heard something about this because it's been a year since we heard any kind of news.
Right.
So that means that they're getting close to actually filming this thing.
Is Juan producing?
Probably. I would say so.
Check.
And I would put money on it that he is, or at least Lee Wanell, who wrote all of them. So far, he's written all four.
Okay.
So I guess we'll see what happens. But that would be cool if Juan came back to at least produce these things. I really... There was this thing I saw going online talking about like the best horror directors and like there was like this whole debate. And I was thinking James Wan has put out like at least 3 A+ horror movies.
It's actually being written by Lee Wanell and someone who wrote Halloween Kill.
Oh, Scott Teems. Yep. Okay. So Lee Wanell is involved in
producer.
So
I know we're talking about movie news here, but we're going back to your James Wan thing. Is when are we going to give him credit for horror? I mean, he started so many horror franchises, but yeah, when people talk about horror directors, like the best of the best, he's never mentioned anywhere near the top 5. For me, he's got to be top 4. For me, at least.
I agree.
I would say he's top 5. I would say he's top 5, 100%.
Banger after banger.
And I think a lot of people don't want to admit it because they have to, they're holding on to a lot of nostalgia of, well, Carpenter's the best, Wes Craven's the best, which true, those guys are all the best. But why can't one also be in that conversation? And Jordan Peele, I think, once he gets maybe 3-4 movies under him, can also be in that conversation. But
one of the knocks I hear about Juan is that his movies are franchises. Oh, well, they have 3 or 4 or 5, 6 franchises. He's like, they're just blockbuster horror. I'm like, yeah, that's just, and I come back with like, yeah, it's just a testament to like the horror that he does. It turns into franchises. They turn into blockbusters.
Think about The Conjuring.
People love those movies.
The Conjuring.
The Conjuring. Like
insane spinoffs.
Obviously, with Insidious, we're going on with number 5. What else did he started off, was it Saw?
He started Saw. Malignant was great. I had such a blast.
Malignant was great.
It was fucking awesome. It was cool.
That since it
but
came out.
The one thing that I always hear is just that he's very flashy. He does jump scares. Listen, when you're sitting in that movie theater, the one job of a horror movie is to affect an audience in a way where it's such a communal experience, where you're all fearing and you're feeling that same thing. That first Conjuring movie, it was electric. Sitting in that room, people were going nuts. It's very rare that you get that now. And I think he's one of those guys that can still do that each and every time he makes a movie.
I think he's good at building dread.
He's great. He's great at everything. I love James Wan, and I think he's such a good filmmaker, producer. I agree with you, Gabe. I think he's definitely top 5. And I think his movies don't need to be. I think a lot of the common complaint is that his movies are too simple. But that's what horror is. Horror is this simple thing. And like,
right.
I don't know. I think he's overall a great director too, man. Like Aquaman, he did
Aquaman.
Think about how hard it was to do Fast and Furious after one of your stars dies. And he had to go ahead and go in and fix that. That's a great director. That's a great filmmaker.
It is.
So he's kind of crazy. He's not that old either.
He's not that old. He's like 42, 43, something like that.
Who hurt him though? He got some messed up ideas.
Right?
God, what did I do wrong with my life if he's 42 and he's such a success? Here I am, like 3 years younger than him. I'm like, damn it. 3-4 years younger.
Dude's great. So we have a segment on the show, Victoria, and it's called The Rumor Mill. This week, I've heard some pretty wild things, but there's just one that we're going to talk about. So.
Listen, I swear to God, it wasn't me.
The rumor is that Dennis Quaid is not Jack Quaid's dad.
Yeah, it's Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid is going to play the new Superman.
We have Henry Cavill possibly return to Super Bowl. Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
Yep.
Super Bowl.
Report the deadline. He's the halftime show. What do you guys think?
What do we think? This came from Deadline. Deadline is putting it out there that they might announce Henry Cavill is coming back to the role Saturday at Comic-Con. They might bring him on the stage. In fact, this is Deadline, so it's not even just a rumor, but I'm going to put it there. But the hot take is brewing. What do you think about this?
Listen, I love the first Superman, but if they're not giving me the Snyderverse, I don't want him back as Superman. Either finish the Snyderverse and bring him back as Superman, or fuck off with him and just get a new Superman, because I don't want to see Henry Cavill is Snyderverse Superman. If you're gonna bring him back, finish the Snyderverse, and I don't need Cavill in another Superman movie to start off some other franchise with some other director. Either finish the Snyderverse with Henry Cavill, or just fuck off. Like, that's the thing. And from what I heard or read today at some point in a rumor, the president of DC said that they're not going to do the Snyderverse anymore. Like, that's completely dead. So then why bring him back? Like I said, I love the first Superman. I like Henry Cavill in the role. But if you're not going to finish the Snyderverse, then why do you need to bring him back?
Yeah.
So I'm going to flat out say I do not think he should return to the role. I think it's too little, too late, and too long. They're off producing, and they have so many other Superman stories in development right now. They have a Supergirl movie they're trying to make as a spinoff to the Flash movie, which is already in trouble because of Ezra Miller, right? They're talking about this Superman project with Michael B. Jordan and J.J. Abrams, which still hasn't gotten off the ground. A script has been written. Heard nothing about that since.
Superman and Lois.
There's the Superman and Lois show on TV, which people love.
Right.
And Tyler Hoechlin is a really good Superman. I saw a couple episodes of the show. I did not get too far on it, but it was enough for me to know that he plays the character really, really well. I'm not saying that Henry Cavill's bad. I think Henry Cavill is a great actor. I think he's a wonderful actor. He was so good in Mission Impossible and everything else I've seen him in. I do not like his Superman. I do not like what Zack Snyder does with Superman. I'm not wrong. I'm not. Everybody else is wrong. Everybody else is wrong for supporting this man's delusions for 7 or 8 years. All right? Everybody rounded up and gave him a goddamn cult until they got a fucking 4-hour movie, which was fine. The movie was decent. It was good. We watched it. We enjoyed it.
We did.
But god damn you people. And then the new report comes out from Rolling Stone saying that, like, over a third of the people petitioning for that movie were fake bot accounts. And, like, there were some other wild things in there about Snyder. And, like, listen, I don't need those movies. I understand if they're your favorite movie, they're your favorite movie. If that's your favorite Superman, that's your favorite Superman. I can't change your mind. It's cool. To me, Superman is a very specific thing and is a very specific characteristic, and I do not get that in those movies at all. I think Man of Steel is some really cool sci-fi, but I think it drops the ball in the Superman mythology. I can name at least 10 Superman comic books that do it way better, and I would rather see get adapted by better filmmakers. fuck, like I mentioned the other day, I'd love to see the dude that did Minari do Superman. Somebody wild and out the box. I don't want to see Snyder versus Superman. The Snyderverse is dead. We got a cool ending with the Justice League that they put on HBO Max. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. But Snyder
Bring on more
Superman,
Snyderverse.
Snyder Superman has always been terrible.
You know what? If they bring
And
back,
you are delusional if you believe that it has been terrible.
listen, if they bring back Henry as Superman, I need them to bring back Ben Affleck as Batman. I need the Batfleck. Give me Batfleck.
You're
all
already
day
getting
long.
him back. You're getting him back in the Flash movie. That's never
Okay,
gonna
but
come
give
out.
him a standalone. Give him a standalone like he wants.
You're gonna. What do you want? 5 Batmans going on?
Yes.
Why not?
We got Michael Keaton's Batman out there for I don't know why the fuck he's in. I'm happy
It's
that
the infinite. It's
he's
the
back.
infinite universe. He's Batman from Earth 152, whatever.
DC does not have a universe. They do not have a plan. They have. That sounds good. We'll go ahead and greenlight that. That sounds good. We'll go ahead and greenlight that. There is no
Okay,
plan.
but see, here's the thing where you just double, you go over your own words here is because you're talking about how much you love the Joker, and we have like fucking 6 different Jokers and a musical coming out
When did
already.
I say this? I never said I love the Joker. I defended that musicals are good. I don't give a shit about Joker 2. I think Joker 2 now caught my excitement because it's a musical. But I think Batman, listen, Robert Pattinson's Batman. That trilogy is happening. There's over three other movies that are probably going to get made off that character. Ben Affleck is done as Batman. He has no interest in playing Batman. I wish people would stop bringing him up as Batman because the dude does not want to play Batman anymore. He does not want to play it.
He was the best Batman.
He's married to J-Lo now.
He's married to J-Lo. Let him enjoy his time. He was never the best Batman. That I don't know where that started.
The best detective.
He was. What detective work did he do? Other than I want to go kill that guy. I want to go kill that guy.
He had files on files on all the metahumans. On all the metahumans.
Why? Why?
He was doing his detective work because he was going to do a Justice League.
Oh, the whole time he was going to do a Justice League. He had this grand plan. Sure.
He did.
Listen, I don't hate Ben Affleck as Batman, but no, I think the Snyder stuff is done. I think they need to stop having one foot in, 1 foot out.
That's what I'm saying.
They want to use the characters and the casting, but they don't want to commit to that. So why are we doing it? Why bring Henry? Yeah, just reboot Superman. Just reboot it. At this point, reboot Superman. Get somebody else in there. Start over. Stop tying it to things. Henry Cavill's a great actor. He doesn't need to be Superman. I've seen him in other things, and he's great in other things.
Let's bring in Miles Teller as Superman.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. We're just gonna say Miles Teller for everything.
Listen, Miles Teller has that black hair, and that like pale complexion.
He's got that good old boy Kansas charm to him.
Right.
He actually makes more sense to be from Kansas than Henry Cavill, who's British.
I'm just saying.
He's no way he's from Kansas.
Let's stop the Britishization of our American superheroes.
Well, I can't call for that, but either I'm with you on the first half, but no, I again, if it happens, it's cool. It's cool. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think what they are gonna do is piss a lot of people off because Dwayne The Rock Johnson has been going around saying some wild shit because he's always fucking like I love The Rock, but he's always saying something outlandish, and he's claiming that he wants a Superman versus Black Adam movie. There's not a person on the planet that cares that much about Black Adam. This movie was made because he begged for it to happen for like 15 years. I do not want to see a Superman versus Black Adam movie. I want to see a Superman movie. If they announce Henry's coming back and it's a reboot of Superman, I'm cool with it as long as it's good. But I have a feeling that's probably going to be what they announce is Superman versus Black Adam because The Rock has been pushing that for some time.
It's going to be Superman versus The Rock. At this point,
he
plays the same
person in every movie.
Listen, I didn't know about Black Adam until The Rock started petitioning for it. I don't know. I have nothing to say here now at this point. The Rock's the biggest the biggest movie star in the world right now. So I guess whatever The Rock wants is what they'll do. So
what I want, and what the people want is Red Notice 2 and Red Notice 3 on Netflix. Honestly, I don't know if anybody wants that, but
you do.
No, I don't even think I saw the first one.
You know what I want? I want another season of Boston Legal.
Sure, why not? again, I'm cool with a reboot of Superman. I do not need Henry Cavill back as Superman. So that's the rumor mill. Let me know what you guys think. I know. Let's see. What were we thinking here? Connor saying that reboot Superman for sure. Cody saying Henry Cavill looks awesome as Superman. He does. He does look like Superman, and I always like the suits in that movie, in those movies as well, in the Man of Steel movies. But Zack Snyder, I don't think ever got the character, in my opinion. I just don't think he understands it. Other than Superman wears blue and he punches things.
Is Superman your favorite superhero?
I think he's probably top 3 or 4. And I think that the only person that ever got him right was Richard Donner. And other than that, no, nobody else film-wise has understood it. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 guys that can maybe do a Superman movie. It's a hard character to pull off because nobody really gives a shit about Superman right now. The comic books, they make you give a shit. If you read the comic books, All-Star Superman, Man of Tomorrow, all those things, Birthright, Secret Origin, I can name off so many. And I think the writers do a great job. But you're already attached because you read comic books at that point, right? I think movies-wise, you need somebody that cares so deeply about what that person is. And what Superman is Clark Kent. Clark Kent is somebody that is genuinely a good person. He was raised by good people. And he's an interesting character in that right. And he also has superpowers. Smallville, the show got that. The first few seasons of the show understood that.
But see, that's why I feel like Superman doesn't translate well into the movies. It's because of that. It's because Superman is more than just a superhero. He's an alien trying to play a human. And what the movies always get wrong, and what the general audience that goes to Superman wants to see, is him fighting, punching things like you say, laser eyes, whatever the case may be. But ultimately, he is human, and the Clark Kent is what works well. That's what pulls people in. I feel like Superman works better as a TV show because you could get episodes of him as Clark Kent. You could get episodes of him as Superman.
People love Superman and Lois right now because you get Clark Kent. To me, that is the more interesting part. I love Clark Kent. I love Clark Kent's friends and the people he hangs out with.
I wish we could actually actually get maybe a Supergirl movie. I mean, I was a big fan, as you guys may know from a couple of years ago, the Supergirl show.
The show, yeah.
I love the show. And a movie makes more sense to me than another Superman movie.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I think if there's a cool filmmaker out there that wants to make this and is so passionate, because the thing is, back in the 70s, Richard Donner wanted to make Superman. He wanted to make it. Sam Raimi wanted to make Spider-Man. Matt Reeves with the Batman. Like, there's filmmakers out there that just love these characters and want to see them succeed. I'm only interested if they get somebody in here that wants it that badly.
Right.
Chris Nolan wanted Batman badly. So that's all I care about, is get a good filmmaker to adapt this the right way. But a lot of hey, I might be in the minority. There's a lot of people that love Man of Steel. A lot of people love Batman v Superman, and they want Man of Steel too.
I think I got Man of Steel in here somewhere.
Dude, I own Man of Steel. It looks great. Like, it's one of the best looking superhero movies. I think the action is spectacular. For me, it's just not Superman. But in the chat, a bunch of people are saying that they want Henry Cavill back. I mean, Chris Snyder joined us. He wants Man of Steel too. I think Cody's talking about Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman was a great Lex Luthor.
Yes, it was. I thought Christopher Reeves did a good job as Superman.
He's my favorite. He's still my favorite. I think those movies, of course they aged. They're from the 70s. They didn't have the technology they have now. But I guarantee you, if they had the technology they had now, that movie would only get better. Those first 2 movies would only get better.
Right.
But that's the rumor mill. I guess we should start wrapping up. So let's move on to the next
Your apology?
Oh, no. We got 2 more things. Victoria's been quiet, letting us just talk about Superman. So, Victoria, what do we got?
All I'm thinking is, all I know about Henry Cavill is he came into my work once on a day I was off.
Damn it.
Always.
Damn it.
Always. You did not understand the assignment.
No.
For real. My friend didn't recognize him.
Come on, it's Superman.
Well, I think you guys basically just ran this down, to be honest with you. I have, San Diego Comic-Con is this weekend, and obviously Hall H is the big one for Saturday.
Okay, so I do want to talk about a couple things that are going to be in Hall H. besides
Cut
Superman.
off.
So Gabe,
Kevin
what
Smith.
are you hoping for from Hall H? Marvel. Let's talk Marvel. What do we think? Is Marvel is having something called their Mega Marvel Panel, and they're expected to release a lot of things, footage that the general public, me and you, are not going to see. So we don't care about the footage. Maybe a trailer that seems tangible, like Black Panther, and some casting announcements. What do you want to hear?
I want to hear more about Blade, Mahershala Ali's Blade. I want to hear about Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. More on the fantastical side. I want to hear X-Men. Give me X-Men. Give me Deadpool 3. Give me that. Give me the R-rated version of Marvel that's going to be coming out supposedly that they've been talking about 3 or 4 years from now, ago. So they give me Deadpool 3, give me Blade, give me X-Men. I want X-Men more than anything. I want X-Men news.
What is up with Latino kids in X-Men? What do you think is like why the kids in the Latino community love X-Men?
You want me to get political?
Because I love X-Men. My uncle loves X-Men. It seems to be like that's the Avengers for them.
All right, hold on. Let me set up straight here and let me look directly into the camera and talk to you about X-Men, because everybody knows about X-Men, right? The entire backstory. But as far as like Latinos for us liking X-Men is because it reminds us of us. We first generation Latinos here, we were outcast. We were made fun of. We were made fun of because we spoke Spanish. We were made fun of because at school lunches we brought tacos, burritos, Mexican food, while everybody else was eating sandwiches. So we were made to feel less than the general public going to school. So when you read an X-Men comic book, it's these loners, these losers that all of a sudden have power. And they use it for good or bad, whatever the case may be. But we look at these X-Men characters as a version of ourselves. You could be gay, straight, black, white, Mexican, whatever, but in the comic books, you see yourself. And for a long time in media, you couldn't see a Mexican Latino person in a movie without them being a gangbanger, a maid, the mechanic, the maintenance guy. Luckily now it's changed, but back then all we had was the X-Men. That's why when we talk about Christopher Nolan's Bane, why I talk so badly about it is because Bane was, for all intents and purposes, he was us. And so that's why we like X-Men. That's why we generate towards all X-Men issues.
And that's something that I hope that they keep in the Marvel movies. Because I know Marvel, I don't know what they're going to do with X-Men. I seriously don't know what they're going to do. Because when Fox was hitting, they did damn good with X-Men. It was when Bryan Singer and a lot of those other guys that were involved in the early films went off and did other things that they kind of dropped the ball. And then Matthew Vaughn comes along and helps with First Class and Days of Future Past. Bryan Singer comes back again. And they're great. Even Logan was awesome. But those filmmakers that really understood X-Men understood the outcast part of it and what makes X-Men X-Men and the family aspect with the Brotherhood of Mutants and Charles Xavier's school. But it's the most inclusive Marvel comic book. Anybody can be an X-Men. Anybody can be a mutant. It's the most relatable thing. And the comic books are awesome. There's so many great X-Men storylines that they could pull from that Fox never used and they never adapted. There's even the stuff that Joss Whedon did. Joss Whedon wrote X-Men for a little bit. So there's a lot they can do. I heard that the movie is going to be called The Mutants. Kind of a cool title. I don't know who they're going to use. Who knows if they're going to cast Wolverine or recast him, They
probably are recasting Wolverine.
Yeah.
They're going to probably recast all of them. The only issue I had with most of those movies was the big role that they gave Mystique, especially the newer ones.
Yeah.
With I know you have a big name in Jennifer Lawrence, but Mystique wasn't as big in the comics or in general. She was a big character, but not as big as they made her out to be in the movies.
Plus, J-Lo was sleepwalking in all those movies. Maybe First Class she was good, but other than that, she did not give a shit about being there.
That's why I even as much as it gets panned, New Mutants, you know what? You still got the feeling of outcasts, these kids, and you know, whatever mental hospital is outcast, and
Yeah, I think that I hope Marvel keeps all those aspects of what makes X-Men special. It's so hard to pull that off, and there's a reason why Fox was falling off with those characters because they didn't know how to handle it. They didn't have the right people involved to make those movies. Marvel does. Now it's a matter of are they going to let those stories be told in the right way?
And I feel like Marvel could cast this right because as when you take X-Men and the Outcast and the way that they are, but you bring in Halle Berry, Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, like those guys don't look like outcasts. You know, James Marshfield doesn't look like
they
an
look
outcast.
like movie stars.
They look like movie stars. And as great as they are, yes, I love those movies. I feel like Marvel does a great job casting, and they could bring in guys and people that do look like outcasts and do look like, you know, they don't belong in in this movie in a sense, you know?
Yeah. Well, let's move on, Gabe. Victoria, what are the new releases? Because we're wrapping up here, and there's still 2 or 3 more things that we want to cover real quick.
Nope. That's it.
Nope, that's it.
That's it for this week, I'm pretty sure.
Which we have seen. Review is up. Gabe, you're excited for Nope.
Yes, I go tomorrow after work, after my 6-hour trip to Wisconsin and back.
Damn.
I'm excited for your thoughts. It is divisive. It's looking like a lot of people, dislike it. A lot of people love it. I fucking love this movie. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year. We saw it in the biggest IMAX screen in the state. You could tell it just looks huge. It was big. The sound is insane. I really enjoyed this. There's a magic to it. Again, it goes back to the whole, there's movies coming back this year that we haven't seen in a while. And this reminded me of Signs, of Jaws, Close Encounters, Steven Spielberg movies that he used to make when he was young. That's what this feels like. But it has that Jordan Peele spin where there's a message about who we are right now. And I think that's so cool that he does that in these movies. He's the real deal. I like this.
I also feel like, maybe I just missed it in the marketing. I feel like they severely undermarketed how great Steven Yeun is and how big of a role he has.
He's great in the movie. He's really good.
Awesome.
He has a bigger role.
He does, yeah.
Speaking of Steven Yeun, who's not in The Walking Dead anymore, but I think, speaking of Comic-Con as well, which I forgot to bring up because you guys were talking, I'm going to try and do a review on the Walking Dead trailer reaction, which is tomorrow.
We'll have a trailer reaction for The Walking Dead from Victoria tomorrow.
At some point, yes.
Do it.
Yeah, more views.
Plus, anyways, when I start ranting, just interrupt me. Like, just be like,
no,
we were both ranting. But you're excited for this. I don't want to ruin it. I really don't want to talk about it because I want to wait till you see it. I don't want to influence your feelings on it either which way. Because besides the trailer, if you walk in there, you're walking in there blind. So whatever reaction you have walking out of that is going to be your for real reaction to this movie.
That's basically what I'm doing. Is I'm just walking in blind just off the trailer. I've been trying to avoid any Nope spoilers or anything from Nope on social media. So
yeah. Okay. So real quick, we got to run down a couple movies for a special somebody. Victoria, your dad requested this of us, so I'll let you talk about it.
All right, I'm going to take my headphones off because, like I said, I talk over myself and I can't hear. About 2 weeks ago, my grandpa passed away after a long battle. So he's someone who got my dad into movies, and then my dad got me into movies and so on, obviously. And also, before I get into it, I want to note that my grandpa would have effing loved Elvis, the movie. He probably would have thought, Austin Butler looks so much like Elvis. He probably would have, I told my dad that. I said, I wish I got to see Elvis. And he said, yeah, but he probably would have blubbered like a baby the whole time because he loves Elvis. I remember going there at Christmas, and it was just the Elvis Christmas album, which is talked about in the movie. So, kind of sad that he never got to see it. But yeah, my dad decided, he went to visit my grandma for like the funeral, cremation, things like that. And he asked his top 10 movies. So I wanted to read them out. I don't think they're in any particular order, just kind of based off what he's watched forever. So I'm going to read those. We got Jurassic Park. And obviously at the end, you guys can touch on them because obviously we've seen some of them. Jurassic Park, Dances with Wolves, The Ghost in the Darkness, Friday the 13th Part 4, which, nice. Against the Crooked Sky, Legends of the Fall, Halloween 1978, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Revenant, and The Edge. And then my dad was saying, he'd be surprised if we had seen these, but especially Against the Crooked Sky is worth checking out, apparently. So maybe we'll have to watch that.
I have not seen that. Gabe, have you seen that one?
No. I've seen would you say The Ghost in the Darkness?
Yes.
I've seen that one. That was good. Dances with Wolves was always really good.
Dances with Wolves is great. It's a great movie.
Yes. Legends of the Fall with Brad Pitt.
Yes.
I never saw it until I saw it with Jess. Jess was like, "Oh, it's one of my favorite movies. You got to watch this." I was like, "Okay."
There was some movie that made a joke about that one. I'm blanking. Some movie makes a reference to
about
that
movie.
About that movie, about Brad Pitt in that movie. But no, I think this is a great list. I mean, Jurassic Park. I mean, I love seeing Good and the Bad and the Ugly.
That's the least surprising movie on this list from me. For some reason, Jurassic Park. I just remember.
And then you have the new movie, The Revenant.
That
one doesn't surprise me either. He was into hunting, would go away hunting, so I'm sure he's like, I should do that next time.
He probably thought it was a nature documentary.
Oh, no wonder. It's like no wonder you have the Ghost in the Darkness with safari hunting in Africa.
Yeah. There's some really good picks on here. So rest in peace to your grandpa. And then
they lived very in the woods of where they are, in the north of British Columbia, Canada.
That's what I was about to say. These movies.
It's
it makes sense. He probably
we saw deer. We saw a cougar on.
This was fantasy for that guy.
He loved National Geographic, all that fun stuff. He built his own little room attached to their little home, so he could watch these documentaries without getting in the way of anyone. But I would like. I
want to see a bear. I want to see a real life bear.
Me too. I saw a real life cougar.
Hey, he's a good, the bad, and the ugly fan.
Listen,
that means that he's got the great taste in movies.
Yeah. I used to see cougars every weekend.
Damn.
Oh. Okay, Ricky Bobby.
I was like, wow, that's cool.
Polecats.
None of these movies are surprising to me, obviously, besides the ones I haven't seen. Another one I actually remember that's not on this list because, obviously, the one A Stranger Calls remake is one movie he had on DVD that shocked me. The one with Camilla Rowe, is that her name? I don't know. That's the first time I saw it was at their house because at the time they didn't have cable. So I was like, you know what?
Hey, maybe he was a fan of that one.
Strangers Be Calling.
Yeah.
Another isolated movie. They lived in a very isolated place. They only just got service a few years ago.
But we had to give a shout out to that, and it was a great list of movies. So yeah, that's awesome. And then Dances with Wolves is really underrated. I feel like that movie gets a lot of hate now because a lot of people think it shouldn't have won Best Picture, but I still think it's a great movie, and I think Kevin Costner is fantastic in that.
I think he is.
He's great. All right, now you guys want an apology from me.
I do. I've been waiting for an hour 13.
Not just us. I think a certain someone.
There's a certain somebody that watches this show.
Apparently,
and we heard he watched it last week. All right, we heard this guy, and thank you guys in the chat, Victoria. Everybody in the chat is giving some really kind words to you and your dad for your loss.
Final Chapter is the best Friday movie.
From Cody to Vince to Connor. So that's really cool. A Strange Monkey, I see you're in here. Okay, so Rob Zombie saw last week's episode. He saw my epic rant about where the fuck he had $40 million.
The timing was
maybe unreal. He got mad and he said, he turned to Sherry and said, look at this fucking twerp on here. These people, I'm going to make a Facebook post. And then Rob Zombie makes his Facebook post, right? And I read it. And it was him pretty much saying, where did everybody get the $40 million thing from? None of my movies amount to that. And he listed off the movies that don't even amount to $30 million.
Which makes sense.
We found out that this movie was always intended to go straight to DVD and release with Netflix as well, way before he even signed on.
He hit everything you dragged him about.
Yeah, he hit everything I dragged him about. And I would accept the blame, but I'm not. I'm not going to accept the blame because that trailer was dog shit. And now I know why it was dog shit. It was made by the DVD division, Universal 1414. What I will say is bloody disgusting. I love you guys. What the hell is up? I believed your exclusive Everybody on the internet believed you're exclusive, that this movie cost $40 million and was going to Peacock and in theaters. You lied. You guys lied to me. You lied to the American people. Everybody in the internet was going crazy over this. Rob watches the show. He gets pissed off about the show. Has to go make a Facebook post about why he's pissed off. Now I pissed off Rob Zombie. But they also put out some little teaser for this as well.
DVD teaser.
For like the DVD release. And I thought that was a way better trailer than what they had before. So I'm honestly, my expectations went up a little bit. I think that was a well put together little teaser that they did with a little behind the scenes documentary that they're going to put out as well.
Right.
But,
which is amazing that he does like for almost every single movie.
Yeah,
every single movie.
Every single movie he does that.
It's like Halloween too.
That trailer was dog shit. I still stand by that. But clearly he came out and talked about all the things that everybody was harping on. So
okay, but
you were harping on.
No, everybody. You all are in the Rob Zombie cult. There's a cult of people out there.
But
these people are crazy. They're like the Snyder cult, where they think everything he does is perfect. Like this guy right here that has this hard-on hatred for everybody, but not Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie's this fucking angel. But I'm sorry, Rob.
Was the trailer dog shit now that you know it wasn't $40 million?
No, it's still a bad trailer, but the teaser that they put out for the DVD release looks good. It looks good and it looks fun. But that movie, that trailer that they put out had poor audio quality. The audio mix was terrible. You couldn't hear anything.
Blame Universal.
The editing was bad. I'll blame Universal. But this little teaser they put out for the DVD, I love physical media. I'm going to support it. I'm going to get a copy. I'm going to go in blind and see what this thing is about. I'm going to give it its fair shake. But I had to apologize to Rob because I know he was out there. I know he saw that video and he was pissed. So
he saw it and he saw how much support I was giving him. He gave me free backstage passes to his concert I'm going to on August 5th.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
No, but you know what though? When you told me last week that it was $40 million budget, I couldn't believe you. I mean, as a Rob Zombie fan,
sure,
I know his movies. I know his budgets. I mean, he crowdsourced funding for 31 for 3 from Hell.
Actually.
Hey! Let's not forget he got like $20 million for that first Halloween movie.
What?
It was like 15. That's a good amount of money for a movie like that.
But those were the movies that like studio backed movies. Was that even House of a Thousand Corpses? You probably got like $5 million for that.
He got some decent money for it, but I had to
everything else, you could tell his movies. He doesn't get a lot. He's like Kevin Smith. They don't get a lot of movies. They don't get a lot of money for his movies. He has like crowdsource them.
It's crowdsourcing. But anyway, we had to talk about that because I know we pissed him off. Gabe is too much of a simp to realize that, but I had to apologize to Rob, and I like Rob. But anyway, Victoria. I think we're going to wrap things up. Do you have anything else you want to add on for this whole Monsters thing?
I'm excited for it now. I mean, I always kind of was, obviously, because I'm in the Rob Zombie cult. But
yeah, it's
don't let Tony sway you away.
It's an illness. It's an illness that is like sweeping the nation. It's sweeping the nation with a bunch of people who are obsessed with his movies. But no, I think it does. Like, it doesn't look as bad as that initial trailer did, and I think a lot of the misdirect was the marketing and the budget. And there's a lot of things out there. There was a lot of things out there telling you what this movie was. And it wasn't rumors. These were actual articles.
I want to do this just to make you mad.
Join
one of us.
Not going to happen. I want to thank everybody that watched this week's show. And
everybody just comment happy birthday to Tony. It was his birthday a couple of days ago.
Yes.
So go ahead. And he finally turned 19. The ball's dropped.
I turned 19.
He's good.
But
also, I want to give a happy birthday to longtime viewer Rachel. Today's my friend Rachel's birthday. My best friend Rachel's, actually. She's usually in the chat. She's probably out celebrating. Maybe
we should shout out Rachel's favorite movies. And they are, I believe, Rushmore, Lost in Translation, Punch Drunk Love, and anything Wes Anderson related. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for all the views and the love and support. Everybody.
And we hit 400.
We hit 400.
400. And thank you so much for our sponsor, Pepsi, and our upcoming
got us there.
what is it? Under Body Armor.
Body Armor, the new drink
Thunder
by Body Armor.
Armor.
So I want to thank everybody for watching, everybody that was in the chat. Thank you guys for joining every single week. Cody, real quick, is asking Victoria, what do we think of this? What's going on with final goals? Monday. Okay, there you go. Monday.
We're still making our lists, but
the epic return of the final goals. That is Monday. This is the Flopbuster movie show. Gabe, do you have anything else to add before we close out?
No, I'm good. I'm just excited to go see Nope.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for watching every single week, making this the best damn show to do. We love doing it. Make sure you subscribe to Gabe's OnlyFans. It's in the description. You can buy underwear, socks, use condoms, anything.
Daddy of Dragons.
Daddy of Dragons / OnlyFans. Go there now for 20% off your first video. And we'll see you soon.
It's only going to be like $1.
See you guys.